I only did one previous stream of this last week, and I had some technical issues. That was actually my first time just having a chance to like broadcast that and watch it. That was pretty spectacular. Anyhow, thank you so much, folks, for joining on this amazing Terra Mystica Tuesday evening. I'm so excited to be back and streaming Premier League again. It's always a blast to do this. Unfortunately, I don't have a co-caster with me. It's just here. You're just gonna have to deal with me solo, but we'll make do. The guys have started up the game on my prompt, so I'm just gonna jump over to the game board. We can take a look at stuff. We'll talk about the setup. We can talk about what's happening. I'm also gonna test this chat, and see if it's working. Yeah, it is. Okay. Cool. So we're doing Fire and Ice. What have we got? Fan factions off, Fire and Ice factions off. Okay, so Fire and Ice final scoring is off as well. I think they had that as a random setting, maybe, or something. Maybe they flicked it off, but I thought it was a random setting. But anyhow, we don't have Fire and Ice final scoring, so that's cool. We've got landscapes on. Otherwise, we're just playing Fire and Ice. So this is a game that I can actually like comment on and have smart things to say about. I know how to play this kind of Terra Mystica. Fire and Ice with landscapes. Cool. Let's take a look at the setup real quick. So we've got 4 pointy pass tiles in. Very pointy. We've got the big building and the TP and the dwelling and the ship VP. Got some coins, worker power, priests. There's some good starting pass tile options for people. What are we missing? We're missing spade, temp ship, and the cult coins. So we're missing a few of the coins. The spade is a bit of a bummer for some factions, engineers, fakirs, etc. But this just kind of looks like a fun game. This is like lots of points in the pass tiles. The late trading posts are usually decent to score off of. Round 4 dwellings. So like, you know, this is like classic like build order for any sort of stronghold faction, like giants, nomads, even a stronghold open with Orin. All good options, alchemists. Like this is like a fun game to like open with a stronghold, get a really strong economic opening, get your temple out in round 3. It's kind of when you want it. Expand, build up, smash TPs, hit pass tiles. Yeah, this looks like a fun game. There's lots of options for people. Darklings are really cool here. If they can open Sanctuary, that's amazing. If they can't, then they can just build it in round 2, and that's totally fine. I always love having like a temple event in round 3 as well. I find for Darklings that really incentivize, like anytime I see this, and I know you shouldn't like build an entire game plan off of like 2 scoring events, but anytime I see this kind of stuff, it just screams like take 2 econ favors with your Sanctuary, and that allows you to afford to go even taller and build like a really early temple. You're super tall and chunky by round 3. You're like Sanctuary, temple, couple dwellings, and then you just sort of go from there. This looks like a fun Darklings game actually as well. Nomads, giants. Yeah, this all looks really awesome. Bizzle as Gollum is perfect. Yeah, I agree. It's pretty perfect casting there. Good to see you, George. Prophet Vox, welcome. Early bids on Orin. What do you guys think about this? Green is notoriously good on Fire and Ice for those who haven't played like a ton of this. Like this is totally a map that like, I don't know, during the arena season when Fire and Ice first came out in the arena season, or sorry, I should say the first arena season with Fire and Ice as a map, it was a bit of a meme with Rainier, who was playing a ton of Terra Mystica at the time, just smashing games with witches. So I think, you know, there's definitely like something to be said for green on Fire and Ice. I think the thing I don't know about that is how much it's like a witches thing versus a green thing. Because like green is strong generally, but like witches with a stronghold specifically is good. And Orin are not witches. So I'm not entirely convinced about these like early Orin bids, but I don't know. I guess they get the big building tile. They can open stronghold. It seems fine. I don't know. I'm not convinced that these early bids should be going to Orin. Just while we're waiting for some extra bids to happen, I'm just going to open up the schedule standings and take a look at this. We have finished so far. What have we got? We've done 3 games so far. And so this is game 4. This week is, whose buy is it this week? We've got Clabo, Halai. Oh, it's Lord Ibis. I hope I'm pronouncing that person's name right. I think I butchered it last week. So Lord Ibis is bye. Right. Okay, and then the final game, the 5th game next week, someone in chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but will be Claybo's bye is next week, which was initially supposed to be scheduled as the first game. But that's so the Claybo bye game will be the last game next week. So with that, I'm just going to open this up. We can take a look at it. So this is what we've got right now in terms of the standings. So we've got 3 games that have already been underway. And Lord Ibis is in first place with 6-3-1 and a bye. Halai's in second place, and Bizzle's in third. Man, this tournament is tight. So of course Lord Ibis isn't playing tonight, but Halai and Bizzle are both in, and so it'll be, I guess you could say they're kind of the ones to watch for today based on who sort of wins between the two of them. That's really going to shake up the standings here. You did hear your name, Lord Ibis, and the pronunciation was good? Oh, perfectly pronounced, that is. Awesome. Good to hear. Okay. I also don't know how I feel about these Darklings bids. Darklings are a solid faction. I said this looks like a fun Darklings game. But Darklings and Fire and Ice are just never that great. I've said for a long time, my opinion on Darklings would change drastically on this map. I think if H4 and H3 switched. As Darklings on Fire and Ice, I really want another starting spot other than E3. And I really wish you could start on the Southern Peninsula somewhere that wasn't like kind of sad. And it's just kind of sad to start down there. Okay, Nomad's just chilling at 40. I'd be very tempted to just snap Nomads here. Nomads start with the Priest, probably. Maybe Worker Power, actually. They open Stronghold, they dig down a dwelling, they pass. Yeah, Nomad's at 40. Darklings can destroy on this map if they get the one-ship connection through the center island. George, do you mean like E3, F4, F5 stuff? They get a dig D6 first action. Yeah, I guess that is the thing about Darklings. I'll come back to George to your point in a second. I'm curious which hexes you mean there, so if you could specify in chat. But yeah, I guess that is the thing, is that Darklings here are starting on a Priest, presumably, or Worker Power. I don't think they're too sad about either. And then, yeah, they get to go first. So they start on E3. No one's on C3, so they just get to dig D4 first action. And then they just get a nice sanctuary town. So that is actually pretty nice. That is really nice. Is that the stretch you were talking about, George, or did you mean another stretch? I'm just gonna scroll down a little bit. There we go. And yeah, Lord Ibis, I agree. They definitely need to dig D6 first action. Mind you, need to. I don't really know what else they would want to do. I don't think they, like... It's the same amount of Leech digging D6 first action with Giants upgrading and stuff, so I think they're totally fine to do that. Unless there's pressure on the workers' action. That's the other thing that can kind of go south for Darklings here, is if they don't get the workers' action in round 1 is always a bit of a bummer. George is saying, yep, D5... D5, D6. Okay, D5, D6, yep. E3, F4, F5. Right. So they get to sort of do this stuff. And they get this. They get their center town. They get this black expansion up here, which maybe they do a town or maybe they don't, depending on what goes on. But they get some nice hexes up here. And then they dig through here. And then it all just works really efficiently off one ship. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. And so in this setup, do they get to do that? I mean, blue's not in the game. Gray is the other faction that will sometimes take this hex. This is actually a hex that's often taken by, like, engineers. So they're not going to take it. Maybe green does take this, though, before black could ever get to it, probably. So maybe black doesn't get to do this stuff. but they get to do this for sure. And then maybe they do something up here. Giants will beat Darkling to workers action, right? Let's take a look at this. So, will they? Well, so this is the thing. Like, it's unclear actually. Like, Darklings might just start on worker power, and if they start on worker power, then they don't want a workers action. So then that solves the problem. But it's interesting because there's 3 workers actions that are all needed here, right? Like Darklings have a priest and they want to dig and build a dwelling and build a temple, and to do that they need workers. Nomads want to build a stronghold probably and build a dwelling, and they need a worker for that, and giants are in the exact same position. Orin are fine because they're just probably going to take the big building tile. So Darklings, Nomads, and Giants all want the workers action, and there's 1 worker power pass tile available. So there's probably going to be some fighting about that. Remember, CS Junior used to call Orin Walmart witches. Okay, so Halai didn't start on C4. Why? Can someone help me with that? Because they start on D4, Darklings take D6. Okay. They do a usual Sanctuary Town here, which is, you know, always kind of ugly, but okay. They do this stuff. They connect. They take this probably. What is F3 getting green here? Like, I guess they get to take this stuff and lose this. They're just sort of trading one area of the map for the other. I don't know. Maybe this makes sense. Maybe this stretch of stuff is just better than this stretch of stuff. Interesting. And the dreaded 3rd dwelling for nomads. I mean, I guess it goes on D4 here. Barnwell says he think he might just be worried about losing F3 to Darklings or Giants. Yeah, I mean F3 is like a super important hex as witches. When, you know, the sort of standard meta for witches is like you start C4 and E4. This is your sanctuary. This is like a stronghold town. This or this, and then you try to do a 3rd town up here, and this is a connection hex. So you smash a stronghold like in round 1, and you sometimes just even take this in round 1. You just like fly there, and then you get up here, and like that's your 3-ship connection hex. But as Orin, I don't know. Might only need 1 ship versus. Oh, that's true. If you can just develop all of these hexes, and get giants to come to G5 and then somehow magically take all the hexes around them, so they just give you adjacency on 4 structures. Then yeah, there's like a really efficient like 1 ship line there for you. Yeah. Okay. Bonus cards. What did I miss? I looked away for 2 seconds. So, big building tile, 2 Orin. Yes, Nomads did take worker power. Priest, 6 coins. So, yeah, Darklings just take workers. That's amazing. This is amazing because, like, Darklings were just able to take workers there. Right? Like, if Orin was on C4, Darklings would probably just have to dig D6 in order to secure it. And then maybe they lose workers. But because Orin was not on C4, Darklings could just snap workers first action. Thought Bizzle might upgrade on G7. To avoid giving Darklings power, but then they just give Nomads power. Oh, Nomads don't need it because they have worker power. I gotcha. Yeah, the leech is just really nice here. I mean, look at this. I mean, he'll just, yeah, he's got so much leech here. He'll 3 power. Mind you, if you're gonna 3 power to worker, you might as well just buy the priest and send it to air. This is better. So what are nomads thinking here? Are they considering buying the priest? What's Max thinking here? I guess there's one consideration that around this pass tile configuration, this isn't one of those rounds where you want to be the first one out. In many Terra Mystica games, you'll notice that the starting pass tiles, people tend to not take the coins pass tiles as a round one pass tile because there's no good way to snowball coins in round one. A priest is good, workers are good, spade is obviously great, power is helpful, all that kind of stuff. So often there's a bunch of coins sitting around. And so as nomads opening with a stronghold, smashing down a dwelling, and then just, if there's a coins tile sitting there, it's like passing for it is super reasonable. Here, it's like whoever passes first is like getting, I guess, 3 coins and a couple of points or something as their pass tile. Like they'll take the dwelling tile. It's not very good. So anyhow, I was wondering for a moment there if Max was like buying a priest or something to try to make their round longer so they wouldn't be the first to pass out of the round or something. But anyhow, he builds a temple. He goes for a temple start. I don't know, is that good? I guess a temple... A temple. I was gonna say the one solid thing about a temple opening here is nomads just get double dig. Like there's no pressure on it from anyone. But then there's the slight problem of based on nomad starting spots, they don't actually have a place to put 2 spades. So I don't really know what Max's opening is here. Like I would fully support this temple opening if he was like had started on, I don't know, somewhere where he could like, I guess D4, but then I don't know. I guess there's no real good starting spots for him here that would enable him to dig 2 hexes. So it's kind of annoying. But yeah, just this temple opening, and then like, what is he going to do here? Single spade or something? Single spade B5? Is he taking a bridge to B6? This, I don't know. It's probably fine, but it just seems underwhelming. Stronghold actually in Max's position in particular, like seems particularly helpful right now. Like look at H7. Like H7 really wants an H8 and an I7 sandstorm, right? Like C5, like he could just sandstorm C4. Like he has so many, he doesn't have access to that many single dig hexes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about the temple opening. Maybe it's fine. Bridge to B6. Double dig H8. Yeah, I don't know. Like double dig H8, sure, just open stronghold. Like, I don't know. So, well, I sends a priest to air. Seems okay. Back over to Bizzle. So wait, did Bizzle already... Bizzle dug D8 and did a 3 power to worker conversion for that, but then was back at like, whatever that was, like 2 power in bowl 3 and the rest in bowl 2. So he's just gotten that much leech. So Claybo has 2 more actions left, I guess. A dig and a build and a temple. Hey, I'm Sved. Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. So Claybo, I'm just trying to figure out who's first out of this round. Orin have to build a stronghold, and then they use their stronghold bump. Claybo has 2 actions. Max, I guess, could buy a bridge and build a dwelling. So Bizzle's out of this round first, for sure. So Bizzle's passing on to Dwelling tile here. Unless Max passes right now. Yeah, the question is whether Max passes now for the Dwelling tile, or if he's okay, and he does, versus just buying a bridge and going for another Dwelling on B6. Yeah, I don't love it all. I don't love it either, Smoo. Don't love it either. Yeah. Yeah, and the pass tile is not great. Like, I don't really know what they do next round. Do they just, like, I don't know. We'll see what Nomads do. Do they upgrade ship? Do they send Priest of Fire? I don't really know what their game plan is from here. I guess they could send a Priest of Fire and build a Stronghold? Do they just take it open with a coins action, send a Priest of Fire, and build a Stronghold next round? I guess they have the stuff for that. Halai with Water 2 Orin. Not sure I totally understand that. What is this Water 2 doing for Orin? Orin are just going to lock up air and get 3 workers back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're going to bump air this round. Water 2 gets them double dig. I see, because they'll bump water and then do a single bump on water to get to the 7th spot. They get 4 power, and then that's double dig. I gotcha. Wow, Stronghold 2 Dwelling. So they took water 2 for basically 3 power. I mean, wouldn't air 2 almost have gotten them double dig? I guess it wouldn't. Oh no, air 2 would have just... Oh no, I guess they would have been a power short. They would have been exactly a power short if they had taken air 2 here instead. I don't know. Best favorite tile for the rest of the game. Yeah. Uh, 6 endgame bonus points. Help me out with that, George. What is 6 endgame bonus points? Are we evaluating water 2 at Did you just do some Galaxy Brain stuff where you somehow evaluated water 2 as a 6-point favorite tile? I'd love to know where that math came from. There is no downside. Water 2's fun in a lot of setups. I've admittedly been playing a little bit more with it. I think it's a slightly sadder for Orin, and I don't support it with cultists generally. So, Dave, what are you saying? I realized that he could do it just before. Water 2 into double dig. So okay, so here's the step on air. I mean, the other interesting thing about this is it blocks the big building tile from people. Mind you, like, I don't know, like the 6 coin tile was just chilling, like... Okay, so now we have water 2, and we get double dig in round 1, and then we pass onto a priest. Like, air 2 would have just been an extra worker anyhow, right? Like, it would have just been one of the workers you would have gotten from the 2 dwellings snowballing, and you would have gotten like 6 coins. It always feels weird not to build dwellings in round 1, but when you're at step 8 of air at the end of round 1 and just getting 4 cult workers, like, you're kind of okay. I might have been tempted just to air 2 or even fire 1 or something and just pass for 6 coins. But I don't know. Priest here looks pretty good. So I think this is coins. Okay, it's okay. What is going on? So that was a ship advance from nomads. Is that the play? I thought it was coins, priest to fire. Well, I guess you can't get both of those things. I thought the play here for Max was a coins action and a stronghold. But maybe I'm just too fixated on the Nomad stronghold. Just because the track says big building round 1 and 2 doesn't mean you need to build a stronghold. I don't know. Bizzle just takes coins here? I mean, I guess there's really no pressure on any of the power actions here, much, for Bizzle. Nomads can take coins, but they didn't take them in first seat. So Bizzle could take, like, coins and then Priest might come back to him or something. For a ship advance and then get down 3 dwellings. I'm not really much of a Giants like expert, but I don't know. Is 3 dwellings good right now? Was that a 5 power pre? Am I right to just like kind of have a bad reaction to 5 power priests? Like 5 power priests like kind of like hurt me a bit, but I don't know if that's just something I need to get over. It's a lot of power. Like it's more than a coin action. I mean, I know not to state the not to be Captain Obvious here, but like that's an expensive priest. 5 power greater than 2 workers. Yeah. I know, but you love 5 power priests? You know, I don't know that I've ever. The only time I've done a 5 power priest, I think I've played like 1,000 games of Terra Mystica, is like I've done a 5 power priest just because the priest action wasn't there because I was like upgrading shipping a bunch as alchemists. Like I don't know that I've ever. I mean, I must have at some point. I've played 1,000 games of Terra Mystica. What? I don't remember ever doing a 5 power priest and sending it to a cult. I may have in like a joke game or in a bullet or something, but I don't know. It's just not. I don't know why it bugs me. I'm cheap, guys. Okay. So Claybo took water 1. So, I mean, it's interesting. If he's planning on building a temple for Earth 1 next round and not building a dwelling before he does that, then this is just 3 points better. So, fair enough. Seems really expensive, though, to be this tall as Darklings and only having 1 econ favor. Like normal Darkling's trajectory, like round 2 Sanctuary, round 3 build out some dwellings, that helps your econ round 4 build up for your next temple. And if that's the sort of standard trajectory, then going like econ Earth 1 into like a round 4 Water 1 seems kind of normal. I find if I'm going like my 3rd favor in round 3, that's super tall. And in order to sort of like afford that tallness, I find that those first 3 econ favors, first 3 favors, I often will go with like 2 econ ones. So in this case, like Claybo going like, presumably he's going to take Earth 1 next round. So he's planning on being like Sanctuary Temple end of round 3 on just 1 econ favor. I don't know. I mean, he was on the 6 coin tile. He just bounced between the 6 coin tile and the 2 worker tile. And if someone gives him 1 leech, he's opening with a coins action. It's a good question. I don't know what happened to Claybo's rank. I mean, I know this is his new account, but he did play a bunch of games and got way up there. Yeah, I don't know. He did get 2 dwellings round 1? Yeah, he got 2 dwellings. Yeah, sorry, I don't just mean like just the Sanctuary. Like, Sanctuary, 3 dwellings, end of round 2 is sort of standard good trajectory. But then he's like building a temple next round and maybe getting a dwelling? I don't know. This is like the difference between getting a coin action or not for Claybo next round is like huge. He's kind of playing risky here. Like, this is a risky play to kind of go this points greedy, but if he can get away with it, it's like pretty solid. He'll hit the track nicely. He just like won't build any more temples until like round 6 or something. I don't know that he's getting any more leech from anyone. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll stop sitting here fussing over Claybo's game, but Earth 2 could have given him the coins action. But anyhow. What else is happening? So Max did end up... did Max end up taking the coins? I was fussing over Claybo's game in 5 Power Priest and missed some of these moves, but Max advanced ship and built 2 dwellings, and he still has 7 coins, so I'm assuming he did get a coins action. Is that correct? Someone help me out here. What else is Max doing this round? So he's just passing here on 6 coins. He could be hard digging another dwelling. He could try to get like a dwelling down on B7 or something. Ship VP looks pretty nice here. 3 power, 2 coins, 3 points. Okay, so he does go with the hard dig for another dwelling. That'll return him an extra worker next round and an extra point off his pass tile, so that's quite nice. Yeah, I'm kind of just surprised that Bizzle didn't try to make a play for G6 here this game. Or sorry, this round. Because, like, is there a world where, like, Orin now, like, beats him to that? Because he would have had the power to just, like, take a priest action, take coins, upgrade ship and secure those hexes, like G6, G5, E2 off of 1 ship, but it seems like Bizzle is like really hellbent on getting Earth 1 tempo, which is totally reasonable for giants liking to secure a way to score points, especially where they seem to be very cut off and like are probably not connecting this game. Finding a way to score points is good, but if he loses G6, it's just going to be a lot harder to expand to those red hexes. So Halai passed before actually using his water 2-step. Now this I don't really... What's the deal with that? So Bizzle took a worker's action so he could build a second trading post? Oh, he's on the TP tile. Okay. Okay, I don't know. Thoughts on this? So whose game do we like here, by the way? Well, hey, Linz. Thanks so much. 4 months, man. Wow. That's awesome. It's amazing. I really appreciate that. Always appreciate the support. How are things going this week at TMTL? Pretty good. We got fire and ice, landscapes on, so pretty standard stuff. Yeah. Okay, everyone here loves the 5-power priest. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, fire and ice is great. Fire and ice is great. It's a good time. Whose game do we like here? Oh, and Claybo got a ton of leech from Giants. So that's really nice. Orin gets their 2-key town. Looks pretty nice. Bizzle is building... Is Bizzle, like, enough of a madman that he's, like, building 2 temples this round or something? Because he wants, like... Bizzle is, like, a really points greedy player and, like, gets away with it a lot more than I do. When I try to be points greedy, my game just falls apart and I don't score any points. I've seen Bizzle do really wild things in games, and I'm like, why did that work so well? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Bizzle was making a play here for Earth 1 and Water 1. And if he wants both, he can just get them. His CM opening felt so weird last week, but it worked out. Yeah, that was a good example. That was a good example, Smoo. I think, did I trash his game quite a bit last week? I probably trashed his game quite a bit last week. Didn't like a lot of the decisions that he made, and then they were winning. Like that kind of vibe. Yep. All right, what's Bizzle thinking here? What's the... I guess just where he was going to build a temple. I mean, Darklings don't have a trading post up. So he did take Water 1. Darklings don't have a trading post up yet. I mean, if those points favor tiles are really important to you as Giants, that play of, like, being on the TP tile so that you could, like, score 4 points off of gaining tempo on them is, like, I don't know. That's just a pretty practical way to be super points greedy. I assume what happens here is Halai takes Earth 1, and then Giants take Earth 1, and then Claybo gets Earth 1 blocked. Upgrading B7 might mean he's taking your Madman line. Upgrading B7? Matt, help me out with this. B7, you're talking about Nomads on B7? G7, G7, G7. Who's upgrading on... Okay. What's the Madman line? Did I have a Madman line earlier that I've already forgotten? I'm sorry. Whatever it is, Dave agrees. Oh, 2 temples. Yeah. Yep. I mean, this is just Earth 1 from Bizzle, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that Water 1 take was really correct from Claybo last round. I think taking an Econ favor or Earth 1, like, I don't know. Yeah, everyone was going to want temples this round with all the stronghold openings and stuff. It was just kind of a greedy play to go, like, Water 1 into a Earth 1 the following round. I don't know. I don't really know what he pivots to. He still wants a temple. He's Darklings. So probably he just takes an econ favor here now, I guess. I don't know what favor tile that would be. I don't know if Earth 2 is going to be that helpful in this position in round 3. Does he fire 2 so he can town up early? Does he water 2? Get some rewards off the cult? I don't know. Do you water 2? So air 1, you guess? So, Matt, you're thinking Claybo takes air 1 here? That seems slightly sad. I think I would just take air 2 or something. I think I would just take another econ favor here. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would probably just take air 2 here or something, I guess. It's a little goofy, but I don't know. Air 2 is just more coins, basically. I All right. I don't know. Air 1 Air 1 is great? Okay. I don't know if Air 1's great. He just forms the town this round. Yeah, sure. He forms a town this round. He takes a ship town. I guess he gets out some dwellings. I don't know what he does. He'll figure it out. Air 1 is like 13 points. If he builds a trading post this round, he gets 2 points this round, and then he builds, I don't know, 2 more in round 5? I don't know. I think Air 1's more like 11 points, and in order for it to be 11 points, you need to build out, like, a trading post earlier than you normally would want to. So I think it's like 8 points. I think Air 1's like 8 points, and also then part of the math is you have a trading post on the board starting in round 3, which is just like bad for business, kind of. But Claybo taking that worker's action is probably him building a trading post. So the fish. Bizzle's gonna pass first onto dwelling tile, take coins, action, advance ship twice, lay down 4 dwellings next round. Whoa, someone's looking ahead. Thank you for that. But then you didn't see that he used his stronghold action yet, so you're kind of taking that back. Is that the case? Oh, because Halai is passing first? Question mark here. L4 with 3 months. Amazing. Thanks, L4. Appreciate that. Really appreciate that, guys. It's nice to have your guys' support. Much appreciated. Even though I haven't been streaming as much as I used to. Let's get really busy. When we were in the middle of a public health crisis, it was so easy to just sit at home and do nothing but stream Terra Mystica games all the time. But anyhow. What's going on? So Halai double dug with his power, which I kind of appreciate, to be honest. Using that power on something better than just converting it into individual coins. Kind of get that. So Bizzle does get to pass first if he wants to. Mind you, it's always a little sad not to send your priest to a cult and temple round. Right? mean, the coins action is nice. The dwelling tile is nice. So does Bizzle send his priest off to like water, fire, something along those lines? Or does he just pass right now for the dwelling tile and open with a coins action? I think both are very valid. Hawaii still doesn't have any shipping, so Giants might just get to G6 and do G5 and E2 and all that kind of stuff. It would seem pretty good. He could get 4 dwellings out next round off of 1 ship. Wonder if Max will race Bizzle to E2. Max will race Bizzle to E2 or G5. Probably needs 1 for connection. That's a solid point. Yeah. Yeah, the only other real way to connect here for nomads is sort of the longer route. I think, yeah, it's got to be longer. It's like if you had a stronghold, just like chewing through the set. Well, here, I've got a mouse. I can show people this stuff. It's like doing this. That's a lot of structures, like strongholding yourself through there, hop, stuff like that. But yeah, in lieu of that, you're right that his connection path is like 3 ship and either of these. Or 2 ship, and he still needs 1 of them. So yeah, that's a good point. One of these is a connection hex for Max, and Max has 2 shipping. So yeah, I think with that in mind, yeah, I think that was a good call. I think it's almost certain that Max takes one of those hexes. Yeah, if Max just hits E2, he's guaranteed connection. Whether he does it off of 2 ship or 3 ship, well, that's a little bit unclear. But as long as he gets E2, he has his connection. And he's at 2 ship. And so I would expect Max to like take that next round, probably. You expect Bizzle's trying to connect, though, in the east. That's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, Nomad's going through the south is good. You just run into like he's got a lot of towns started already. Like he's got stuff started already. So like he needs a structure here. He probably wants. I don't know what he's doing with this. Like, is he gonna try to town up here? Like, I don't know. He has 2 sort of towns kind of started, but it's a little unclear if this is going to be a town because he doesn't have a stronghold and this is a double dig. So yeah, I don't know. But chewing through the south just seems like a lot of expensive digging. That's the kind of stuff you might have been able to do with a stronghold, like dig that, like get through all of that kind of stuff. But with Otis stronghold here for nomads, I just don't think they've got the digging capacity to do all that work. Yeah, they do have a lot going on. Which happens with nomads, I find. Like, at least with me, like, this feels like a bored state I would see myself in with nomads. Like, having a lot of stuff going on, trying to figure out how to put your towns together, connection, like, all that kind of stuff. So Bizzle did send his priest off to fire, allowing nomads to pass first on the dwelling tile and gets a coin action. So what else do we have going on this round? Halai's used all of his steps, so he's out of stuff to do. Darklings still have things to do. Darklings could build another temple this round. It's probably wrong. Okay, and Claybo just advances shipping, which makes sense. This is pretty nice for Claybo. He gets a couple dwellings out this round, and then he's just going to pass on to the coin tile, which makes a lot of sense. and then sends his last priest to water, which seems okay. Comes back with 2 coins and then a priest again. So he has 3 priests. 3 priests. He's already had a ship. What can Clay get down for dwellings this round? He doesn't have Earth 1, so he wants to get down a bunch of dwellings this round. Obviously C2, and then he has 3 priests. It's always the trick on this map. Like, that still doesn't do that much for you. So, like, E1. Wonder if Clay, I think here is Darklings. I would make a play for the Southern Peninsula now. And I think this round is Clay. I would go E1. I would double dig G2, and I would build on H3. Orin's there. They're probably going to give you some leech. Well, they'll probably beat you before you get there, so you end up giving them some leech. But you'll have neighbors there. There's like, once you get G2, there's no pressure on H3. You can just dig H4. You probably just get I4 and maybe even I5. Like, nomads probably aren't coming up there at all. So you just can build a nice town around Orin. And then you'll probably do, and then he'll need a bridge to sort of finish his northwest town. E1 to G2 to H3. Yeah, we're on the same page for sure. Yeah, so this looks pretty nice for Claybo. Yeah, Claybo's done some nice stuff. That workers action last round to get the TP up to Coin Town, all that kind of stuff. Like, he's making this position work. Claybo's pass tiles have been really nice this game. Like, he's been on the 6 coin tile twice and the 2 worker tile once, and I forget what else he had. I guess he had a priest in round 1. So was he priest 6 coins, big building 6 coins? Like, that's pretty solid econ coming from your pass tiles. Yeah. So whose position do we like the most here? I started asking that question earlier and then got distracted, and we never finished that up. So let's chat about whose position we like the most. Max is in the points lead, and everyone else is about the same. Orin are crushing cults, which makes sense. Everyone's got some points favor tiles. Giants network is like, they can connect this game, but it looks like their network aspirations aren't going to be that good. They just lost E2. I don't love Giants network game. Really feels like nomads are going to win network here and Darklings are going to put up a fight. Why's game does look okay. Yeah. He's about to get a lot of leech from Darklings, and they're just going to have a really... One thing to keep in mind about this is we've got like these late trading post rounds, right? And some games it's just like the trading post round comes around and your adjacency is just not fun. And Orin and Darklings are just going to have a time and a half just building trading posts. Like, they're going to each have like adjacency on 3 hexes that contribute to a town, whereas nomads really want to build trading posts up here with no neighbors. They can build a trading post here, but it's never going to be part of a town, or here that's never part of a town. Like that's like the ugly stuff in Terra Mystica that's like really plays a role in like how good your game is going. Yeah, like these TP rounds coming up, this town just needing to be developed like more, like that's, I don't know. I see that kind of stuff and it just feels really good. I'm actually like, I like Claybo's position a lot. Yeah. Nomads have southern TPs. Here. And here with Orin eventually, probably, maybe. Is that, I guess, yeah. I4 and 6. Oh. Yeah, if nomads take this. If nomads take this, sure. But, like, that's a double dig for them. Like, I think Darklings are probably taking this X. Maybe. I don't know. They have 4 priests going into next round. Like, they're 2 actions away from this. Yeah. Nomads have temple and water 1 though. They do. They can build a temple up here. Stronghold this round. It's expensive. A stronghold out of round with 3 sandstorms to go. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Seems pricey. I don't really know. Other weigh in on Nomad's game here. George, Matt, cherry picking you guys, you smarty pantses that are in chat. Is there a line where you guys like build Stronghold? He only needs 2 sandstorms. Is there a line where you build Stronghold still this game as Nomads? Do you build it this round? Do you like... I don't know, because I was also seeing, like, if this becomes your Water 1 temple, is there a world where you take this and turn this into a sanctuary town, or do you just build this as your stronghold and abandon it? Like, and then sandstorm this stuff to get a town here? I don't actually know how I would finish this up as Nomads. This is like a complicated position, I think, to be in as Nomads. I think he's too coin tight for Stronghold. Not totally sure, though. It is. It's very expensive, right? Like, you're spending 8 coins to turn a trading post into your Stronghold, right? So there's also the delta on those coins. Like, it's a very coin-intensive operation. Yeah. And if he had a town coming up soon that he could just, like, coin town his way out of it or something, but, like, he's pretty far away from that. Admittedly, this is nice. I forgot that Giants was coming up here. This is actually quite nice for Nomads. Some more leech for Claybo. So Bizzle's building 2 more dwellings this round. Yep. G5. And H9. And what else do we have going on? Eli's got at least 1 more dwelling on D9 this round. Presumably. Yeah, losing G6 Orin seems a little painful. It's going to need 3 ship now to connect. I guess there's a question of, like, where Orin goes from here. Like, they could go D9, I guess. I mean, they probably go D9 this round. I'm just wondering if there's a world where they actually, like, go D3. Like, if they're, like, are Orin fighting for a 3rd town this game is really the question I'm trying to ask in a convoluted way. Darklings are first out. And he gets a TP tile with 2 coins and a coins action. Like, oh gosh, Claybo. I saw a comment from earlier, Matt. You were saying the TP tile with 3 coins on it. I don't know where that was. It was a TP tile with 2 coins on it. But anyhow, Claybo getting the TP tile with 2 coins on it, going into the trading post round, and having exactly the power for a coins action is like classic, like disgusting stuff. Like, that's super strong. Oh, I see. You saw the round just transitioning. Like Claybo still has like he's like last in points right now, so I shouldn't be like, you know, fawning over his game too much. But there's just like a lot of like his pass tiles this game have just been really nice. Super strong. Yep, exactly. Super strong. Claybo's pass tiles have been nice. He's gotten 2 coins actions now. He's going to get 4 TPs. Like build 4 TPs, do you think, or just he'll end the round with 4 TPs? I don't think he builds a temple next round and then 4 TPs, but he'll build a dwelling next round. He'll build 2 dwellings next round and 3 TPs and town up. Yeah, he ends on 4 TPs. Yeah, 100%. He has not 14 coins right now. He's gets a coin action for 7. That's 21 coins. He has 9 workers. So he builds 3 TPs and 2 dwellings. That's 8. He has a worker left. Yeah, and he'll have a worker and 8 coins after that. It's pretty nice. Yeah, he is in for a monster round 5. Yeah. Yeah, he'll want to open with a coins action, and then the question for Clay is how he puts his 3rd town together. So his 3rd town, his 3rd town would love a bridge. But he could do it with Clay could actually just skip the bridge and do this. Right? He only needs 4 more structures. He would end up, because once he builds his temples, he'll end up with 4 trading posts at the end of next round. And then he'll go into round 6. He'll want to build another trading post in round 6, so he'll want to build another temple. And if he's going to build another temple, he's already got air 1, so he probably just takes fire 2. So I think Claybo, what he can do is actually just TP, dwelling, right? And then a TP up here. And skip the bridge and just fire 2 or something like that. He's building Stronghold next round? Who's building Stronghold next round? Pontifexominibus. How do you pronounce your username? I bet it's not Pontifexominibus. I bet it's not that. You think Claybo's building a strong... Oh, it's 7, 2, and a 5. Okay. Cool. Claybo's building a Stronghold next round? I don't know about that. I think Stronghold's a little sus, to be perfectly honest. You don't see what the temple does. The temple is an extra structure. The temple is an extra town without a bridge. The temple frees up a 6-point trading post. I don't know. Yeah, Stronghold opens up a landscape. It sure does. A temple opens up a trading post, which opens up a dwelling. It does all those things. Yeah, it does. It does. To do all those things. It gives you the extra structure. It gives you the trading post to build, and then the landscape. It's just more expensive. It's more expensive and it's less points, I think. I mean, it's complicated. It's more expensive, and then it's less points unless you convert 3 workers into 3 priests, and then it's more points. But then it's a lot more expensive to get also the 3 priests. I mean, it depends. If he's on the big building pass tile in round 6, then there's probably a world where, yeah, that might make a bit more sense. But I think that's what would make the difference. If he's on the big building pass tile in round 6, then maybe he builds a Stronghold. But otherwise, I think it's Temple for fire 2. Yeah. All right. Round 5. Points time. I actually forgot to comment at the time when Oren sniped the fire cult. That's actually kind of sad. Bizzle put so much work into that cult. Look at that. Oh, I didn't even put a priest to the fire cult. He doesn't even have fire 1. And he just took the cult from Bizzle. It's actually kind of sad. So worker situation is going to be tough, but he doesn't need other resources after this round. Yeah, I'm not sure. What else is going on this round? Why is Bizzle already out of resources? Oh, Bizzle just built a sanctuary? I'm so sorry. I've been talking about Darkling's game, and I've totally missed the giant sanctuary. Anyone want to rewind the tape and tell me when that came in? What does Bizzle do this round? Presumably, he's like, so this is a 2-town game for Bizzle. He's just going to dig these hexes for his town. So he's digging I-7 this round and then building a trading post there. And then next round, he has the Trinity, though. Thanks, George. That's helpful. Darklings will have 8 worker income for next round. They will be fine for workers. Trading post on G5. Okay. Weird, there is water 2 left. If that's a joke, I don't get the joke. Or did you mean there's a water 1 left? Is that what's weird? Yeah, water 1. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so Max just like never took water 1 this game. And Halai has yet to build it. Halai, yeah, and I don't know if Halai does build water 1 this game. It's kind of expensive. He's like not super rolling in resources. Not really sure. I also don't entirely understand this trading post from Bizzle. Doesn't he just want a town over here? I don't know why it wasn't just dwelling TP. I don't know what the deal is with this. I was just wondering if I wanted to start commenting on that, Linz. Bizzle greeting is... I guess that is what that is, eh? A G5 trading post. But, like... That means he needs to take... He needs to dig a hex not using his stronghold. So either a dig advance, 6-worker dig, action 6 type dig. Because he would need this and this hex. But then this town, at the very minimum, needs a dig and a bridge. So it's a very expensive town. So, like, if he just builds one more town, then he just uses this round's dig and next round's dig, and that's it. So he needs nothing else. But that second town is like action 6 and a bridge. Giants getting I5. Giants aren't getting I5. Well, yeah, I mean, Klebo's packing 3 priests. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it seems like a long shot. Like, Bizzle doesn't have the resources for, like, you know, for all that. So Max has 90 points and has yet to found a town. Fire and Ice breeds weird games. Yeah, it does kind of. It does kind of. Fire and Ice is like, yeah, there's definitely some funny stuff that people end up having to do on this map for sure. Yeah, you just think he's just building the TP for points. Fair enough. Yeah, it's a place where he has a neighbor. And probably for some reason he wanted to give Orin 2 leech as opposed to building a trading post here or here. Like, yeah. Presumably that's the case, that if I went back at that game state and stared at the board, there was just some reason why Bizzle wanted to give Orin 2 power as opposed to Nomads. Where is Max's second town, though? There is no second town without a stronghold. Like, there just isn't. This is a one town Nomads game, right? Like, that before Clay took that was a Nomads town if he got a double dig and a bridge, right? And like, so that's gone. So I guess what he double digs this and builds a sanctuary. Yeah, it's one town. No, Northern SA Act 6 town. So this line, eh? Is that worth it? Like, what's a sanctuary getting him? Like, what favor tile is even helpful here? Like, there isn't really a solid favor tile. So you just end up spending like 12 resources or 10 resources on a sanctuary plus a double dig just to get a town. Like, it's kind of, yeah, it doesn't seem great. So Max has got, okay, this is the thing. Max just keeps soaking up points. It was a pretty nice pass. 9 on the ship tile, 3 for air 1. He won't have a points pass tile for the last round, and everyone else will. Why did Nomads take air 1 and not water 1? Well, air 1, if he builds 2 trading posts next round, then air 1 is 7 points and water 1 is 6. So, yeah, I guess that's the reason. Matt, would you be pushing for this town? Are you just thinking this is what Nomads might do here, or is this actually like what you would recommend? Would you actually be pushing for this town, slamming 6 workers into B4, building a sanctuary, I guess for water 1, and then building a couple trading posts? Is that 6, 7? I don't know. L4 saying if he builds before the TP here, it would be 9 versus 7. It's profitable compared to just passing. Yes, yeah, fair enough. I guess that is the thing. It's like, what else are Nomads doing? I don't know. It is a rough town. The problem is with the SA Water 1 line is he doesn't actually have enough workers to do a hard double dig, a sanctuary, a dwelling, and then 2 trading posts, unless he converts his priests into workers. So I guess he can just barely do it. If his priests are workers, all his power is coins, he can afford a double hard dig, a dwelling, a sanctuary for water, 1, 2 trading posts, and then that's the town. And then, I don't know, you just have a network of 12 and lose network to, like, everyone. SA for fire, too, and try to win network. Yeah, not really sure. And L4 is thinking you'd aim for coins, a coins action with this leech and upgrade digs. Yeah. All right, I can get behind that, I think. If we get the coins action here. If we get the coins action, upgrade digs, and upgrade digs, and then just fight network. Just build 2 trading posts, a few dwellings, whatever you can do. Seems okay. It is disappointing, George. It is disappointing that there's no early Nomads trading camp. Did you ban the spacebar in chat or something? Is this a no spacebar chat? I think I missed the beginning part of this joke, but... Bizzle just soaking up points. Passing for 8 and 3. Onto the ship tile. This big 10 structure Giants game. Nearly at 100 points. He's actually got 11 call points as it stands. For all my talk about Claybo's game, like, is this... Like, his trading post around... He's built all his trading posts. He's built most of his buildings. Like, where is Claybo getting more points? And this this big town here with 5 structures, I'll have... what am I trying to say? It really feels like we're not getting a third town. Usually need to be a lot more efficient with structures. I guess Claybo can get another town but he needs the bridge now. Which maybe he builds the bridge this turn. If he gets some power somehow. Easy third town with camp. Yeah. Well, I guess so, yeah. Even without the bridge. You would stronghold C2, dwelling, trading camp on those greens, and then build another trading post. Yeah. Four, 5. He needs like 10 workers to build all that stuff and have the workers to convert to priests, which the big building tile looks a lot like 10 workers. Seems good. Yeah, it does look like he's getting the big building tile. I mean, I guess Oren could pass here. build trading posts next round. No, Orin wants the trading post tile. Orin doesn't want to build their sanctuary. Yeah, Orin's staying in to try to get, yeah, Darkling's pass tile. So Orin will probably, oh, okay, that's interesting. What's the deal with that Power Town? Poor man's Coin Town? Why does Halai need a Coin Town so bad? I guess just in anticipation of upgrading shipping twice more? I think Clay just passes here for the big building tile. What else is he doing? Power Town so strong. Yep, it's good stuff. It's going to be a nice 12-point pass from Quabo. So Darklings will be at network 16 at the end of this game. So they just win network here. They just win network outright. No one's going to catch that. Posture check. Am I slouching that bad? Oh, yeah, I kind of am. Thanks. Appreciate it, L4. Yeah, Darklings will also be passing for 12 again. Yeah, trying to count up Darklings. Darklings final tally for this game. I mean, I do have a phone calculator. Could use it. His 6 priests and maybe 3 more from the stronghold. So there's 9 priests this game. And another 6-point trading post. Plus a town. And then he passes for another 12. He's at 91. 18 for network and 4 or so on cults. I mean, that's $160, people. Darklings may be able to 4 town here. Whoa. Does D3 suggest he's going for 4 town, or does D like I would have just 3 towned here as Darklings with stronghold on C2, like, and just still like just ignored the bridge. Like, they might be able to. So we're now talking a stronghold and a temple. A temple to free up another trading post. Is that what we're saying, folks? So like a town here and a town here with like temple, with like stronghold, trading post, temple, not necessarily in that order. Dwelling, trading post, dwelling, landscape, dwelling. 4 structures. 1, 2. Yeah, I see what you guys mean. But this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 workers. 4 down would have been a lot easier with O5. Yeah, this is when, like... But it's an interesting point that, like, without I5 and just making this a whole, like, just doing this whole thing with Fire 2, which he would have to for this 4-town game. It's like, obviously would need Fire 2, but like, yeah, like you can just remove I5 and pop it anywhere else. I guess he would still need the temple for Fire 2, but it would just mean he would have a trading post and a temple left on his board at the end of the game, as opposed to being down to literally just a temple. He also needs Priest Town. You guys are doing the math like crazy on this, eh? To make it work. But doesn't he need to like take a worker action or something here? Like, isn't he short workers for all this? He needs the worker's action. Yeah, like he needs a lot of stuff, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He needs 12 workers. Oh no, 11. So he needs the worker's action, which he has the power for right now. He needs 21 coins. So he needs the power town. He needs a 2-for-1 leech. Yeah, I don't think he can do it. I don't think he can do it. Yeah, I don't think he can. I think it's one of those things that like if he got a 2-for-1 leech and a power town, I think he'd be short a priest. So his second or his fourth town, like his final town, he can take a priest, but that isn't contributing to the fourth town itself. Like he would need that priest before it. I think he's short a dig or short workers to convert via his stronghold or something. Yeah, without I5, I think it's not super complicated actually, which is kind of nuts. Yeah. Yeah, I would have had to commit to, which is hard, right? Like 4-town is not something that like usually 4-town is a meme. It's like 4-town is something that people recommend to streamers when they're playing. So it's hard to notice like when your game is going in such a way that it's like I've got a shot at 4 towns here and just start like making plans for it that early. But yeah, you're absolutely right. He would have needed to delay building that dwelling, delay towning up there, because he probably wouldn't have wanted to temple until this round. It's complicated, for sure. It's complicated. But it's one of those games that it would have been super sweet, because he could have 4-towned here. Like, when you want to do a big town game like that, like, the main thing you want to... a key thing you want to take into consideration is, like, how many stranded stray structures... Okay, here's the dig from Nomads, going back to Max's to Tuna's earlier comment, I think it was. This is a single dig advance that we're seeing from Nomads. Interestingly, the trading camp. So this is a sanctuary for Fire too. I don't know. Anyhow, but when you're doing a big town game, you really want to be conscious of like how many stranded structures do I have thrown around the map? Like how many structures have I built that are not contributing towards towns? I5 is almost an over town, so you could consider that 1 and then D5. But without I5 here, it's actually like this would be a perfect textbook 4-town game where if you didn't have I5, you'd have 4 towns, each with just enough structures to do it, and 1 extra structure that you're giving yourself D5, not part of a town, to just allow you to connect the whole thing together. But alas, anyhow. It's been a beautiful game regardless. It's been a really nice Darklings game. And possibly winning? Or am I crazy when I counted 160? I did calcs on my phone and came to 160, and now I'm looking at this board state, and I'm like, I don't know how I got that. He needed B4 plus bridge for town? B4. Oh, I see the other way that you folks were calculating the town was to take, okay, was to take the bridge action and include D5 as part of it. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I actually totally missed that line. Wasn't even thinking about that. But anyhow, I will not spend the rest of the game talking about the game that Claybo is not playing. I have a tendency to do that. So with the single dig advance, nomads, again, I'm assuming that this has got to be a sanctuary for Fire 2 coming up for Max. Claybo packing 6 priests. That looks pretty nice. And Halai using water 2 to hit his third cult. Yeah, here's the Sanctuary for Fire 2 from Max. Just going back to Orin's game for a hot second, are we seeing for with Halai, is this going to be a Fire 2 take and then an expensive trading post and then locking up water as well? I think he's short a coin. Anyone else want to check that out? I think if Halai gets a 2-for-1, he can temple trading post. He can temple expensive trading post and 1 coin short. Yeah. Mind you, it would kind of, I mean, I guess he could take a ship town, but I mean, it would kind of throw any plans he has to like 3 ship and fight network a little bit more. But yeah. All right, so we do see the Nomads Fire 2 take. So Nomads are going to build another trading post and town up. And then probably just build like 1 more dwelling or something after that. Maybe they can sneak out a second dwelling somehow. I don't know what's going on in chat. Someone help me out here. Someone who isn't George or Matt. They're not gonna say anything. Yep, 1 coin short. That almost looks like programming language jokes. You know, when like nerds try to be funny, like making like sequel puns and stuff with memes. Yep, 1 coin short. I don't understand what Matt's talking about. Yep. Oh, that's actually what is happening. Matt isn't messing around. Literally, Matt's your B and your space are not working, and George is just making fun of you. Okay, late to the party here, but I'm catching up. All right, here we see the Nomads town. Hard fought second town for Nomads. Double dig on B4 through a single dig advance with a landscape and a Fire 2 sanctuary. That's a town. I don't know what looks good here. What is he taking? Is there a way for Max to build 2 dwellings here? That's what I want to know. Can he get power for single spade somehow and build like on F2 and D1 or something? I haven't done like math on people's network sizes, but I would harbor a guess that getting out 2 more structures is helpful. Oh, hard digs 2 workers. Oh, right. Dig advances. I know how that works. So he needs 4 workers for 2. Yeah, he takes a worker down. Okay. Makes a lot of sense. Yep. Cool. So Max is getting out 2 more dwellings. What else is Bizzle doing? Bizzle... Hold up. Bizzle, what have you done here? Bizzle dug F6 with his only stronghold action to put out his landscape to upgrade his digs. In order to get his town, he now needs to take a worker action or convert his priest into a worker to double dig I8 and build a dwelling, which I guess is fine, but I guess that makes sense. Yeah, if you were always going to hard dig down your landscape, you would just do it first. I don't know why that seems messier than it is. Okay, I take it back. It's fine. For a second there, I thought it was like looking tight for his town, but he has 6 power, so... But Bizzle's getting 1 more structure down. So he'll have 5 structures left, so Nomads beats Giant's network. And what's Orin up to in terms of network here? Orin has their 3 ship and can build 1 more dwelling, 2 more with a hard dig. So Orin build 2 more dwellings. Bizzle with the double dig. Does that make sense? I guess? I don't know. Wild. And he takes a power town because he wants to upgrade his ship a 3rd time for points, even though he won't get a dwelling out on 3 ship, but it's still more points. It's still better. He took a power town so he can spend the power and a priest for a 7-point ship advance. Okay, fair enough. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Claybo has not yet done his town. He's delaying. He's just fighting off Halai's ability to expand. No, wait, what was that? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Halai couldn't reach F1. He can reach A6. Why did he dig F1 there? What's going on? So Claybo's just delaying. Like Orin can't reach F1. Orin can reach A6. Yeah. So Halai and Max are going to tie on network. Yes, they each get 1 more structure. So they're down to 4 structures each. So Claybo has 18 on network. Orin and Nomads each have 9. And Bizzle... Oh, Bizzle's going to have... Bizzle has 4 structures as well. So it's a 3-way tie for second on network. So Bizzle, Max, and Halai each get 6 points, and Claybo gets 18. I don't know if Darklings have this. I mean, Darklings have another town coming in and network. Orin have 32 cult points and the same network as everyone else, like other than Darklings. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, there we go. Last structure for Hawaii. Orin takes second in network. Is that true? Why do they take second in network? Oh, Giants can't go to another structure. What am I talking about? But Nomads can. Yeah, so never mind. Orin and Nomads tie for second, so they get 9 network points each. Mm-hmm. Max will pass for 3, and Air 1 is 130, 139 with network. 146 after cult. Bizzle just passed. He's 134. He gets 0 in network, but he has another 11 cult points, so he's like 145. I don't know what I said Nomads were. I've already forgotten. It seems around the same. Halai passes for 8 and has 32 call points, so that's 40 right there. So that's 147 and has 9 on network, so that's 156. So Halai beats Max and Bizzle here. The question is, what's Claybo's game here? Claybo is going to pass for 13 and has 18 network. So that's 31. 37 with his cults. And he has 4 priests. That's another 8. That's 45. 48 with resource points. Yeah, so Claybo's like 160 some. Yeah, Claybo is clearly winning this. So Claybo's like 160 some, Halai's mid 150s, and Nomads and Giants are mid 140s. Yeah, really strong game from Claybo. Darklings are monsters? They certainly can be, yeah, they can be monsters. And here we go, we have the final tally coming in. And I'm just going back to the standings here at the beginning of the stream. I'll let this roll in. I won't dare cover this up with the standings. But after 3 games, and this is Lord Ibis's bye, we had Lord Ibis in the lead with 10 points, Halai and Bizzle each with 9, and Max and Clay were both with 1 point. So at the end of this game, we'll have Claybo with 7 points. Halai coming in second with 3 points. So Halai's going to take the lead now in the tournament, I believe, with 12 points in the tournament. I believe that's my understanding. Yeah. And Bizzle... Oh, okay. Is there a resource point coming in with Nomads? Or did that already come in? We actually have a tie at the end. Wow. I don't actually know how in this tournament format does a tie for third work, because there's only 1 point to dish out. Do you get 0.5 of a point? I suppose the answer is just yes. You get 0.5. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, congratulations, Claybo. This is for an incredible game. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do a post-game interview this time around, folks. But I'm still sorting out some audio issues on my end, but I hope to have that resolved and to be able to bring players on and stuff as they stream games to do a post-game interview. But we can just quickly, as we're wrapping up, let's just break down the stats page here a little bit. Don't see this every day. 3 of the 6 coin actions going to the 4th place player. Max got 3 of the coins actions. Darklings did get 2 of them. So where did Darkling's power go? So he took 2 priest actions, 2 workers, 2 7 coin actions. Makes sense. What else can we pull from here? Let's look at the actual the leech situation. Victory points lost to power versus structures. So lots of leech to both Bizzle was playing Giants and Claybo on Darklings. This is victory points lost, which isn't the exact same as power gained, but it's often a proxy. We can scroll up and take a look at how much power exactly they gained. About the same. Bizzle had slightly more power for a bit more efficient, 40 for 20 versus 37 for 22, but still that's a solid amount of power to gain in the game. Yeah, it was a really interesting game from Claybo. I had to say, like, during the mid game with that sort of water 1 take, I sort of went on a bit of a rant there. I felt like it was a little bit greedy to take that water 1 take with a sanctuary, expecting to go into another to build another temple the following round. But I think one thing that really made everything work so well for Claybo, I mean, aside from the fact that he's just an incredible player and he just calced things out properly and passed when he was supposed to, but he really hit the pass tiles really, really well. I've noticed this in some of my own games where a lot of other things in the game I felt went well, but I just, wasn't able to score as many points, and in the end of the day, didn't have as big of a network as I thought I would, and I would review the game, and I'd look at the pass tiles that I'd actually get throughout the game, and the pass tile takes were just overall underwhelming. Like, if you were to sum up the total of, like, what are you getting throughout the course of the game in the pass tiles, and in either some combination of economy or points, like, what is it that you're extracting from that? Some games you just do better than others, right? There's those games where it's like you're first out of the round in round 1 and you end up passing on the dwelling tile and it's kind of underwhelming. And then in round 3, you're on the priest because there's nothing else. All that stuff really adds up, right? Like taking those little bits of hits where you're not getting good stuff from the pass tiles. For Claybo this game, like, I think he started on the priest. He ended on the 2-worker tile. So he was on the 2-worker tile at least twice this game, I think. He was on the coin tile once. I forget what it was. In round 4 or something, I had counted this out, and it was like he had hit the 2-worker tile twice and the coin tile once and started on the priest or something like that by round 4. I forget what he was on in round 5, but he was on the TP tile in round 5 and in round 6, the big building tile. So I think like every round this game, he was either getting mad points or mad economy. And in round 6, he was kind of getting both. It's one of the beautiful things about the big building tile is it's like delicious economy with 2 workers and getting 8 points out of it. Like, he just extracted maximum value out of the pass tiles, and it was really satisfying to see that. So, I don't know. He did lots of other amazing things as well, but that's just one thing that I sort of noticed. It's one thing I've just sort of been watching in my own game as I've been playing, and so I've been seeing it in other people's games too, is it's like when they're just doing a very good job of extracting maximum value from the pass tiles. We can actually take a look at that as well really quickly. Let's just scroll down to see... unfortunately, there's no way to in the stats page to like show you like what's the total economy that you extracted from the pass tiles, but you can see the victory points. Victory points rewarded through bonus cards. Okay, so here isn't proving my point that much. It's 20 victory points. That would have been what? 8, 8, and 4. He had the TP tile for 8 in round 5, 8 points off the big building tile in round 6, and then he had the big building tile at 1 point prior to that to get 4 points off the sanctuary. So those were his 20 victory points. And I think his other 3 pass tiles might have been the priest in round 1 and 6 coins twice or something to that effect. But anyhow, that was definitely one key thing I saw in Claybo's game that worked really well for him. And the other thing is also, as was mentioned at the beginning of the stream, just the ability to cut through this central stretch is really good. Orin not starting on C4 meant there was no pressure on d6. The same time, Darklings always in this setup had the opportunity to just first action dig d6. So Claybo knew in the auction that he was always going to have the ability to grab this stretch of hexes, which is just really helpful. It allows you to just sort of, just get a nice sanctuary town where you get your first upgrades. Otherwise, often on this map, you build your first temple here for Leech, and then you have a really awkward time trying to turn it into a town. You end up taking this hex and a bridge or some other weird stuff to try to put it all together. But here, he was able to upgrade here, build a sanctuary in the center, gets lots of Leech, and just turn it into a really efficient town, and then connect over to here in one ship. So that was really awesome as well. So yeah, anyhow, it was a really great game. Congratulations, Claybo, on the win, and congratulations, I hope I'm getting this right, congratulations, Halai, on now being first in the Premier League. We do have one game to go. Tune in next week at the same time. I'll be streaming next week as well, same time, so please tune in then. It's going to be Claybo's bye week, if I've got that straight. So we're going to have Lord Ibis, Max, Halai, and Bizzle in for the final. So check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you're not already part of the TMTL Discord for some reason, please jump in there just before the stream wraps up. I'll make sure to post an invite link there. That's where you're going to get updates on who's streaming what games, including the American divisions and the European divisions and all that kind of stuff. And also there they post the standings and everything on a weekly basis, so you can see how all the players are performing across all the divisions. If you're not already part of that Discord, jump in there. I'll post the link just as we wrap things up. And finally, thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. It was great. We had like 30 viewers throughout most of this stream, which is really great. Lots of great discussion and chat. Always appreciate everyone coming to hang out. So with that, I'll wrap things up for now. Thanks so much, and hope to see you next week. Bye, everyone.